Before we get started, do me a favor and smash that like button. I'd appreciate it. Welcome,
Okay.
everybody. We've got LT flying back for another segment here. So, how you doing, LT?
Doing great. Doing great. It's a beautiful afternoon here. We enjoying the sunny days and warm weather. So it's very nice. I'm sitting here looking through some of the comments that we've had that you've had here in the channel, and the comments are asking questions like how do these NFT apply to the liquidity pool, into the stake? What are some of how do the capacities work? And so I was thinking it'd be good for us to talk about a couple of these aspects, so people would have a clear idea about what they're dealing with and how it works.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
So, all right. Well, there's a commenter named Now Good, and Now Good had a question about there's no direction on how to apply it to my LP in the T-bill stake, and so an NFT, and he's referring to the 2x NFT, and so the 2x NFT, if you were to obtain one, which right now the only way to do that would be to go over there to Open Theta and grab it while it's available. But whenever you're on Open Theta, you would connect your wallet to Open Theta to pay for that NFT, and using the same wallet that you have connected to the liquidity pool, then it's magic. It happens in the background. Really, it's not magic. It's all in the programming, but basically, as you buy it off of Open Theta, it goes into your wallet. But because your wallet's hooked to your staking pool, then it's automatically put into the staking pool, and the staking pool itself will apply that to your T-bill stake that you have in the LP. So it only applies to one side of the stake. That is, the LP is two sides, T-fuel on one side and T-bill on the other. And this 2x multiplier applies only to half of that you have in there, which is the T-bill side of that, and up to the capacity of your multiplier. So if you have something less than 100,000 in your T-bill, in your pool, then that 100,000 or gold 2x NFT that they're selling over there on Open Theta would be enough capacity to cover everything that you have in anything less than 100,000. So that T-bill would be multiplied by 2 in the calculation for your reward that would be calculated for every 10 minutes. And so you have the effect of having twice as many T-bill. And so if you happen to have more than 100,000, and so it would apply the 100,000 to, say you had 110,000. So 100,000 of your T-bill would have the effect of being doubled, and the other 10 would still stay in the 1x column unless you had a 1.5 multiplier, which then that 10,000 would be multiplied by the 1.5x up to whatever capacity that is that you hold. So, and it will do this automatically. The other thing that I think that was really advantageous to the LP staker is that in this pool, they apply the 2x first and then the 1.5. And so, so you don't have to, say, fill up or use the whole capacity of the 1.5 and then you start getting 2x multiplier. No, they do the 2x first. So it's to the advantage of the staker is the way they wrote the code. So that tells me right there that they had the interest of the staker, the LP staker, in mind
So they
whenever they
apply
wrote the
them
code
from the highest multiplier
to
to
the
the
lowest.
lowest.
Right. And so and so you think, well, I'm buying a 2x, I should have double my rewards, and you don't get double the rewards. And that's because the multiplier applies only to the T-bill portion of your LP. The T fuel portion is still receiving a 50%. And if you have a 2x multiplier, then and all your T bills multiplied by 2, then that would be 100%. So if you add those two together, you wind up with 75% overall rewards for what you have in there.
In the APR.
In the APR, yes, in the APR. And that's why up at the top in the gray circle, this was something that was asked as well. You said, well, why up at the top? I got this 2x. Why don't I have 2x APR? And this is why. Because the NFT applies only to the T-bill, or half of your pool. And the combination of the two gives you the 75% APR. Now, of course, if you take the daily rewards and you stake them back in that larger number where it says the APY, then it probably says something like 111% APY, 111.54 is what mine says. But that's only if I take my rewards for that day and add to it enough T-fuel to stake that back. So I would have to be adding T-fuel on a daily basis and staking my earned T-bill with it every day to earn up to that 111.54% APY over a year. So that's annual percentage yield. And so since I'm not doing that, what I'm doing is taking my earned T-bill every day. I swap half of it for T-fuel, apply that with the remaining T-bill, and add that to the liquidity pool. So every day I am increasing my liquidity, or the LP that I have in the pool, but it's not to the extent that's going to give me that full percentage that's up there in that gray circle at the top of the page under my stats. So I'm not going to quite make 111.54. Haven't figured it out. It would probably be something over 100% still, but not the whole 111. So just keep that in mind. Still, I'm making 100%, give or take a little bit on what I've supplied to the pool. I don't know where else you're going to get that. As we've stated before, I work for a person that owns an airplane. I fly them around. Well, this person happens to be in banking and finance, and if he has a year where he's making 8 or 10%, he's having a great year. I'm making 100%. That's a fabulous year,
Yeah.
So I'm going to thank you.
You'd think that he'd get a clue and be in this.
Well, now, as you know, this just started a few weeks ago, and I've been flying for him for about 20 years. So
yeah.
He's done very well. He does. He is in traditional finance, and this is anything but traditional, and I'm very happy to have the opportunity. So that's that. I'm glad he does what he does. It lets me do what I do. So
yeah. You
anyway.
think that as much money as he no doubt is making, if he's able to hire somebody to fly him around like that in a biz jet,
Mm-hmm.
that even if he just took 1% of his income and put it into this liquidity pool, he'd be raking it in.
Well, I've had the thought. Now, this is so new. Everybody needs to understand this liquidity pool and this decentralized finance is so new that we're all still learning about it. And a person especially somebody that's managing somebody else's money, they would get sued if they put money into this. Now, they could put some of their own personal money into it, but if they tried to put funds from investors into this, they would probably be sued.
Yeah.
Unless there was full disclosure and all this kind of thing. So they do have some restrictions on what they can do, just in defense of these people. They're doing what they've been trained to do, and they are working within the system that has been set up for. I certainly, January 14th of this year was the first opportunity we had to have opportunity that we've had to put anything into, the liquidity pool from Theta Swap and with Theta Cash. So it's certainly something that I've been learning about, and it's something I will talk to him about at some point. just to see if he has any interest, see if he would want to go through this process, because I'm sure if I tweak his interest by saying, hey, I'm making 100% in this liquidity pool, he might want to listen. So we'll see.
Yeah,
You know,
my guess is he'll say, "No way, that's impossible."
well,
Because if it was
and
possible, I'd be doing it. That's what he'll think.
well, true. I think very much so, because it's almost too good to be true. Just like the video you did, is this too good to be true? So far, it's not. It's great. So, we'll see as time marches on. But for the moment, I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, me too.
So
The rewards are consistent and plentiful.
yes, and so the thing is, and most other people will and this is another comment that I'd seen sometime in the past. Where's the problem? Where's where's that other shoe that's going to fall? Or
Yeah.
where's the issue? So as this isn't the first liquidity pool to be put together and put out there, and there's a lot of benefits to that not being the first. And one of those benefits is you can learn from some flaws in other pools or what other people have done. And that's one of the things I appreciate a lot about the G Pool team and DGuard, is they put a lot of thought into this, and they've tried to correct for some of these flaws. And one of the big major flaws that they've corrected for is this impermanent loss, and having impermanent loss prevention. And so they worked hard to put together a pool where there is prevention. I'm saying there won't necessarily be impermanent loss, but they are working to prevent it, and they do this through having smart contracts. And within the contract itself, there are oracles, and these oracles are checking prices every 15 seconds. They're checking the price of both sides of the liquidity pool, both of T-Fuel and T-Bill. And they track that price, and every 10 minutes, they're able to formulate an average price for T-Fuel and T-Bill. And they take whatever your percentage of the pool is at that time and multiply it by the price of T-Fuel. And this is where your impermanent loss would come in, is on the side of the T-Fuel. And so if in other pools, if that side of the pool, in this case T-Fuel, was to spike up higher in price, say it was to double in price, well, you effectively will lose value in your T-Fuel because you don't get to capture that rise in price. But because we have a smart contract that has an oracle that's looking at the price of T-Fuel every 15 seconds, and then it's calculating an average price over that 10-minute period, and then using that average price, if there's a spike, you get advantage to that spike, and that is multiplied by your T-Fuel amount that you have, which is then figured into the reward that you receive for that 10-minute period. And so impermanent loss is mitigated. There is prevention for that. And then on the other side, on the governance token side, in this case T-Bill, they have it's backed by impermanent loss insurance. So we're protected on both sides of this LP from impermanent loss. And this is something that's built into the system. And so you can actually, do, if you wanted to get out a pencil and paper and do a little math and figure out, well, how much is my T-Fuel worth right now? And if it was to double, how much would it be worth? You can figure what your rewards would be. And your reward goes up. And indeed, you don't have to get out a pencil and paper. There's a calculator that if you go to gpool.io and go to the T-Bill calculator on the gpool.io webpage, you can put in how many T-fuel you have staked to the pool, and you can put in, it automatically populates the current price, and you can calculate it. It'll tell you how much you're going to make per day, per month, and per year. And you can go up there and just double the price of T-fuel. You can change that number and just double the price, and you'll see what your new rewards will be. Well, the rewards will be exactly double of what they otherwise would have been. So every day you can take your reward and buy the same amount of T-bill. Excuse me, said it wrong. You can take your reward and you take the T-bill you earned and buy the same amount of T-fuel that you would have bought the day before, with the price being half as much. Because your reward doubled, you're now able to buy the same amount of T-fuel. So you didn't lose, you didn't have impermanent loss. And that's another reason why you want to, keep up and keep reinvesting that back into the pool, because then the next day you're going to get that much more, just a little bit more of a reward than you did the day before. And that's going to add up. It's going to compound, which is another great benefit of this particular pool. And along with that, say you need that money for something else, like maybe buying another 2x multiplier off of Open Theta. You might save up your rewards for a few days and then go buy another multiplier. So, that's certainly something that is possible to do. You don't have to wait to an end of a time period in which to claim those rewards. You don't have to unstake to claim your rewards. Your money that's in there, your LP, keeps paying out rewards every day. And you're able to take advantage of that and use that as needed, or reinvest it and make a little more tomorrow.
Gotta love it. We'll go ahead and wrap this one up, and
Okay.
and plan on what we're going to do for the next one. So
Okay.
I thank you for visiting with me again, and sharing your knowledge and research with the rest of us. So
Well, I hope it is helpful for everybody, and that I'm sure there's still more. Well, I know there's more yet to know and to learn. So I'm going to keep studying. I'm always trying to find the gotcha, understand where the problem's going to be, and if I find one, I'm going to tell you about it. So far, I hadn't found one. To tell you the truth, I just haven't found one.
We could probably do one of these every day, and still not catch up with all the information there is to share. So
Correct.
Okay. And it might it might almost be doable, if we do them in 15, 20-minute pieces. We might be able to do more than one a week, but we'll see how it goes.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's some more things to talk. I mean, and we talked about the multipliers a little bit, but we didn't cover really how they stack, how you mint them, So there's actually more on the multipliers we need to talk about. So that's okay.
Well, that's a wrap for this presentation. So cue the music. If you enjoyed the video, then hit that thumbs up for me, and I'll see you in the next video.